Welcome to WomanCrush Every Day, brought to you by NAMED Medical Aid Fund. And today we have Elisabeth Farmer, Health Coordinator at QKR Namibia, and Theopoline Machoko, Wellness, or Employee Wellness and Relations Officer at B2Gold Namibia. And they will take us through the importance of employee wellness for both employers and employees and how that benefits the organizations. Welcome to the Pulse and welcome to WomanCrush, ladies.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
So we're so excited to have you for the week. Now, let me just start off with you, Elisabeth. Why should employers prioritize employee wellness?
Well, thank you for that question. I like that one. You only have to look at the past 10 years to understand how much in life and society has changed and how quickly. The workplace has changed from a previous predominant safety and production environment to a shift in more health and wellness. People live longer and also they work longer, but they are less healthy. We also see awareness of stress, an increase of mental changes that are growing. We see an increased trend of more lifestyle diseases at the workplace. So most of these health costs are preventable. Many of these costs employers are facing, and because of that, people make unhealthy choices and take unnecessary risk with their health. Helping your employees improve their health is one of the best long-term strategies for reducing your healthcare cost. Changing our behavior is ultimately up to each of us as individuals. However, as an employer, you have a tremendous opportunity to help your employees see the value of adopting healthy behaviors so that they can live healthier lives. If you want to invest in your company, invest in your health and wellness. It should be a company value. So the benefit for the employer and why they should prioritize it can reduce occupational injuries, it reduces absenteeism, and it increases company profitability and therefore shareholder value.
Now, Theopoline, we just heard now from Elisabeth about investing in your employees. What are some of the benefits of good employee wellness programs?
Okay, thank you, Sipo. There are really quite a number of benefits when it comes to wellness program in the workplace. And wellness programs in general really offers an umbrella of wellness initiatives that we implement in the workplace. And just to mention a few of those benefits is, for instance, improve health behaviors of your employees. There is also an increased employee engagement. The company is more engaged with its employees, and the relationship in general also improves just by having that engagement. And I think lastly is just that you are also improving the well-being of your workforce by encouraging them to participate in initiatives like wellness screenings, for instance, that we do with our medical aid NAMED, and that the outcome always, after the initiative of that nature is that employees, make positive lifestyle changes. So those are just to mention some of the really good benefits why one needs to have an employee wellness program in the workplace.
Oh, very crucial. Now, Elisabeth, we're finding ourselves in a pandemic that we have never faced before, well, in this generation. And how has COVID-19 pandemic affected the wellness of employees? And how can employers really support the staff through this?
Sibo, I will talk from a frontline worker's perspective. What we saw at our own mine is that generally we saw a greater awareness in terms of personal hygiene, people wash their hands more, they wear their masks more, and trying to keep their distance. So in terms of that, we saw a greater awareness. We also at our clinic observed a reduction in common colds, flus, and sinus this year. We also saw a very interesting thing, and it was how employees started to make use of technology beyond the doctor's room. There were all these different apps on their phones, the health apps. They're using Google to get information about their health and obviously information about the COVID pandemic. What we do experience was a negative in terms of the psychosocial challenges when people were out there in isolation or under quarantine. Living alone was not easy for them. So we picked up a number of psychosocial challenges. At our mine, we have identified proactively all those employees with comorbidities, which was employees with diabetes, hypertension, cancer. Those people we have identified as the vulnerables, and we sent them home on a special paid COVID leave. Some have been off for more than 6 months, and I think we need to thank Navajap Gold Mine for being out there and helping employees. So how did we support our employees throughout this year? We kept ongoing the education and the awareness. It was made via posters. It came on their mobile devices, a cell phone that everybody have. We provided sanitizers, face shields, PPE. We also did built a quarantine camp for our employees, which was approved and inaugurated by the Ministry of Health and Social Services. And the idea was the intention was to lift that burden from the state and said, yeah, let's help where we can. So the building of the quarantine camp is a very important thing. We, as I said, sent our vulnerable employees with comorbidities home. We built a screening station outside where we screen visitors, our employees, especially when they leave the town, we screen them. We also built a COVID screening station, which means anybody that came in with any symptoms of COVID-related symptoms, we will take them straight into that room and manage them. So obviously the communities that we live in were also affected. So with the assistance of the mine, we did food distributions in Karibib, Usakos, and Ochimbingwe, helping people with food. And what we did with the cases that we had on the mine, the positive cases, is that whenever there was a positive case in one of our employees, we went out to the house and we decontaminate the houses to make it clean and to give people that assurance in terms of the hygiene. So that was basically what we did. And also with the help of the state, really, I must mention the Ministry of Health and Social Services with a good working relationship. We also helped them at the hospital to renovate a section for a quarantine facility.
Wow, that's that really went a long way.
Quite helpful.
Yeah. Theopoline, we heard what employers have done to help their employees, but how can the employees themselves just prioritize their own wellness?
Yes, it's important really for employees to have the ball in their court when it comes to wellness, their own wellness, and prioritizing their own wellness. Because often we don't really recognize our vulnerabilities to stress, and I'm going to lean more on the psychosocial issue. You know, we don't recognize that, you know, that we are all vulnerable to stress and, you know, other mental health issues, for instance. And until all these things, you know, start manifesting itself in the physical health symptoms, for instance. So one have to really set your own boundaries when it comes to yourself. And that is really by practicing self-care, After all, as employees, you can't pour from an empty cup. So you have to look after yourself before you'll be able to look after your family. So your priority should be yourself, in a nutshell.
Well, thank you so much, ladies, for being with us here on WomanCrush. We highly appreciate it.
Thank you.
And that was WomanCrush Every Day, brought to you by Namib Medical Aid Fund. And I had with me today Elisabeth Farmer, Health Coordinator at QKR Namibia, and Theopoline Machoko, Employee Wellness and Relations Officer at B2Gold Namibia. And we just spoke about how it is so important and so vital for employee wellness for both employers and employees, and how organizations can actually benefit from it.